I was lost. Here I am. How are you guys, everybody? Alita Hernandez, Spanglish Entertainment. It's been a busy week. I've been on Resurrection Boulevard like all week now. I mean, it's Tuesday since Monday. So we've been reminiscing with the cast of Resurrection Boulevard that came out 25 years ago. It's really been a great conversation with Ruth and Nicholas. And then today I got to talk to Dennis, the creator and executive producer of the show, and learn more about him and everything. So we're just going to continue this journey with another actor, very well known actor. And one thing I do say that I remember all these actors from the show. And when I watch television and I watch movie or whatever, I go, I know him. Wait, he's from that Resurrection Boulevard. So like I remembered, like they resonated with me being a Latina American. Okay, I had just left LA. So when the show started, I had just moved LA 2000. I was there for 13 years living in LA. So I was very known about East LA and the culture there. And, I was already acclimated to California, being from New York. So there was a lot of things that are very similar. It doesn't matter where you grow up where you grow up, but our culture goes with us. So it doesn't matter where we live. We're going to make a little melting pot somewhere of our culture and our people, right? And try to come together as a community. And I think that's what that show was really about, is showing the Latino family and everything they could do. They could be anything they wanted to be: lawyers, doctors, boxers, right? You can do any job. So, but anyway, let's talk to Mauricio, because Mauricio Mendoza is behind stage here, waiting to get in. I can't wait to talk to him. I've been watching him on TV lately, so we're going to talk about that. So let's give him a great round of applause because he deserves it. Oh, wrong one. What happened? There you are. There you are. I gotta do it again. I gotta do it again. I'm so happy that you are here today. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for having me and just getting to meet you and having this moment. I'm very grateful for it.
You're welcome. You're very welcome. I like to keep things alive. Like I find that being Americano, right? We're American first. I was born, raised in New York City, traveled, the states, living in California and Florida now. So we are part of this country so much. We do so much, and we contribute in so many ways that it's like we don't scream out and say, "Hey, I'm Latino," loud. Like we don't make a lot of ruckus.
It's true. It's true. The beautiful thing about being Latino is no matter what, we always find joy in everything. Even if something is happening that we might be completely frustrated about, we will turn around and find the joy in it and the gratitude in it.
Yeah, that's so true. I think that's how we were raised, or our
Yep,
families,
yep.
culture, very close
Pon la
knit.
música, pon la música, vamos a bailar.
Eso mismo, la salsa, the whatever you like. You got to keep that. I'm telling you, right? If you're in a bad mood, just turn the radio on, turn your
That's it.
favorite song on, Spotify, whatever you listen to, and you're good.
That's it. That's it. Yeah,
So,
motion. I just finished doing a Tony Robbins. I follow Tony Robbins, and
mhm.
I just did his UPW seminar this past 4 days, and he says motion creates emotion,
Mhm.
right? Motion creates emotion. So if you put them la música and you get into a different state, it just changes everything for you. And
Yeah.
music for me is key.
Now I know you do stage, you do film and TV. So, and there's a difference in that. People might not understand that, but it's a big difference when
Correct.
when you're doing live stage, Broadway. Do you sing as well?
Correct, correct. I just finished doing a run of Real Women Have Curves on Broadway.
Mm,
It just closed about two months ago,
mhm.
maybe 2 months and a week ago, and we were there for 7 months, 8 shows a week, which it's beautiful, but it can be exhausting because
Mm.
people don't understand that when you do 2.5 hours of a musical, it's full energy, full out. there's no marking it for us
Mm,
on the stage. So it's continuous. So you got to create a system where you're able to maintain that kind of energy and that kind of focus. And even
mm,
when you're off stage, you have to keep a certain focus. So by the time you're done, especially when you're doing 2 show days, which is a,
mm.
a 6 to 7 hour day, because it's not getting to the theater. It's waking up and being in that frame of mind and meditating and warming up and just getting in that state of mind. It's a beautiful, awesome process, but it
Mm.
can also be exhausting.
Wow. Well, we appreciate you, and I appreciate all the actors that are stage actors. I've seen many, many shows growing up in New York, and my mother is a pianist, and my father was a pianist as well. So I went to Lincoln Center, I went to Radio City Music Hall, and off, Broadway, all this, the different theaters for the shows, and I always loved it. It's like when they had like Fame on TV. Remember? That
Yeah,
was like everybody's dream. I used to dance to Fame every day. Fame, I
yeah,
want to live. You were like all the time. So, and I still have the song.
yeah, absolutely.
You
Yeah,
know.
you know, the theater for me has always been a passion, since I was
Mhm.
a teenager, and the fact that I get to still live it out and get to sing and dance, it's man, there's just nothing like it, and I'm so passionate about what I do that
Mhm.
for me to be able to do it and that I still get to do it, just an amazing, amazing thing.
Wow, wow. I have to look up if there's any reels or anything of you live. Or I have to come to New York, I guess, or the
There you
next show.
go.
Yeah, I haven't been to New York for a long time, but so talking about Resurrection Boulevard. Wow. What a blast from the past, as they say, right? 25 years ago.
It's I have to tell you, when Dennis said that this was happening, and I've been watching a lot of the marketing and a lot of the Instagram and all the social media behind it, and it just taking me back in time at a moment where I was what 33 years old when I got this show, and it was one of the most beautiful moments in my life because
Mm,
not only because it was history in the making, but because when it's a dream of yours and something like that happens and that you can have such an impact, because we had an impact. We lasted 3 years. We were the first of its kind, and all of these people are still my friends.
mm-hmm.
I when I was in New York, I stayed with Tony Plana, who plays my father.
Right.
I stayed with him. That's who. When I was in New York, I stayed at his place, and there's still a relationship. There's still a camaraderie. There's still love, and I think there's even more respect and gratitude for each other as we've gotten older, because we
Mm,
were so young. Most of us were so
yeah.
young when we started the show that
Yeah.
I don't think we could really truly appreciate and understand what that moment really meant.
Mm,
And as years went by and you work on different sets and you work with different actors, um, man, you realize how blessed and what a rare opportunity that was. And that we were the first to be able to really get an opportunity to play three-dimensional characters that Dennis Leotti created for all of us in 3 years, over 53 episodes. That's very rare, and it just doesn't
mm,
happen. Um, and we were the ones that were chosen, and we were the ones that little door opened, right? Because there were so many people right for it, but at that time
right.
it just happened to be us, and it was a blessing that I will never forget. Till this day, Dennis Leone is still one of my dearest, closest
Mhm.
friends. I admire him. I admire everything he's gone through everything that health wise also has happened to him, and his tenacity to keep going. I love him to pieces. And Michael and I have continued to work because I also became a film producer.
Yes, I
And
saw
also,
that.
yeah,
Mhm.
Michael and I have I've produced a lot of Michael's projects in the last few years, and now we partnered up in a TV show that we have been looking to sell called Below the Belt, and
Oh,
that's one of the things that I'm doing this year. Besides another film that I have with my wife that we're right now. I'm here in the
mhm.
editing base with our editor, and they're working in the other room.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so that's one of my other goals is to get this sold with Michael, and so I mean to look back 25 years and you go, wow, I can't believe it's been that long. Can't believe it's been that long,
No,
and
I
it's
can.
been fun to watch things that I haven't seen in so long. So you know,
I was talking to Dennis about it because he said they only have like part of it in digital and then the rest is not. So he's really fighting to get this on Paramount Plus, on cable, on the internet and get this. And I said, we got to do a petition. He said, maybe we have to. So I said, we're going to talk with everybody and we're going to get a petition to get Resurrection Boulevard put on digital so we can all see
it's
it.
it's crazy, right? Because with every reboot that has been out there for the last few years, it is amazing to me that we're still fighting to get the second and third season on the air. It's just beyond me, specifically because we all know that there's a lack of Latino content on the air. That
Yeah.
man, if this show came out right now again, it already is a reboot when you're watching it.
Yeah.
People won't know it's not it still plays, it
Yeah.
still plays.
Yeah, it's still relevant. It's still
Yep.
relevant because that family unity that the Santiagos had on the show was something that's what we Latinos do. We fight, we get angry, whatever, but we still love each other and we always there to support each other. So regardless of all the bickering, right? When you had the family, when you're fighting with your Tony Plan as your father,
Yep.
and then Nicholas is your brother, and who was going to box and all this stuff, right?
Yep. Correct. No, it's that's why when I've been watching going back, I go, wow, look at the work that we did. Wow.
Mm,
I don't remember that in my head. I'm like, man, that scene was really good. You can see it from a different perspective and go the work that we put into it. And again, going back to Dennis Leone, one of the few people that I've met in rare. Dennis is a rare individual in this
mm,
business. He's rare because he really is. There's just the heart that man has.
mm.
You don't get to meet people like Dennis in this business. And
Mhm.
I'm going to be very, very clear. What Dennis did is almost not a doable thing, and also what he created with this, with all of us, it's hard because people move on and they go to other projects and they don't ever see each other again.
Yeah.
Dennis created a family, and he created a family because he has a family, and the show was important, but so were we
Mm.
in the process, all of it. He really listened to what we wanted and needed to say, and there were a lot of storylines that were based on things that happened to us. And one of the major things that I'm very passionate about now as I've gotten older, and I told them then, was that I wrestled in my early age with anxiety, uh,
Mm.
and they did a whole episode on my character having panic attacks and anxiety, and he allowed me to share that part of myself, which also let me also embrace that, not to be afraid of it and ashamed of it. And it also was a Latino man
Mm.
having anxiety and panic attacks on the air, and that I can talk about it. It's something that I suffered in the past, and that he allowed me to tell that story. And they wrote around that. Um, there's an episode on my love for dogs. He wrote an episode about my character saving this dog. So they really wanted to make sure that we were telling stories that we were passionate about, and that's also very
Yeah.
rare in this
Yeah.
business.
Yeah.
Because television, it really is a producer director. I know you've heard this before. It's really a director producer. Well, I would say producer's medium. Theater, I believe, to be an actor's medium. It's the only time that we are truly fully. Once you rehearse a show and you're doing it, you are in control of what's happening.
Right.
And so it was rare. Resurrection Boulevard is still was rare. Being with Dennis Leone and what he did was rare. So I'm always eternally till this day. I don't stop saying how much I love him and how grateful I am for the, you know, it was a stepping stone to my career. It's a stepping
Yeah.
stone.
Yeah, and you didn't, I mean, you didn't know that then, but now you look back and you go, wow, look at everything you've done. And I've
Yeah,
been seeing you on TV. So, you know, for me, I don't know. I get attached to people on the TV like they're like part of your family, like part of the show, you know. I get into the series and then I get to know their character and, you know, so I cry, I laugh, I do everything when I watch these shows. You know, my husband told me, "What are you doing?" I'm sorry, I'm crying. Leave me alone. He died. I can't believe it. You know, I'm like,
yeah, yeah,
like if it was my brother was dying on television.
yeah,
So that was good about that time because there was things that we could connect to, and doing that thing about anxiety, that was a big deal because as a Latino male, you know, there's no patrol out there. God forbid you put that out there. Oh my God, you're not a man because you know
yeah.
you're comfortable. You know.
Well, you're raised with el que dirán, el que dirán. What will they say? What will they say? And when you're coming from a culture of not allowing to express yourself,
Mm,
or just these ideas that you have in your head, because truly is. My mom never told me not to share my feelings. This was just a concept that I had built inside my head that I needed to be strong and that I needed to be strong for my mother and that she's gone through enough pain in her life. She needed me to be strong. And so I held so much inside myself that at one point my body just, now that I've done the work, exploded.
right.
It couldn't handle it anymore. And I love sharing about it because I want people, and specifically men, to know that it's okay to talk about it, brother. It's okay. You know, nobody escapes pain. Nobody.
No.
So let's just talk about it. You know.
Yeah, it's good to talk about that because that's part of mental health too, you know, that can affect you. I went through a period of time that I shut down because I moved and a lot of changes, like too many changes at once. And I guess I don't know what happened. I just, you know,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
couldn't
Yeah.
handle it. And I, you know, I'm better now, thank God. It's, you know, it's been a long time now, but it's really unbelievable when you go through something like that and people don't understand your what's going on inside and you're
Yeah.
trying to explain somebody. And I used to not like when people say, oh, just relax. Just relax.
Yeah.
It's not that simple when you're
No.
having a
No.
panic attack.
No. It is not. But you know what's been interesting through because I call it my journey. I'm actually writing a book on this,
Oh,
and I
wonderful.
call it my journey, and I say my truth because everybody wrestles with something,
Yeah.
and I can only speak from my truth, and hopefully my truth will open just an idea, and that it truly is about taking a deep dive into your own life, emotionally, physically, and spiritually, to really find a system and a new way of living. So I don't say I suffer from anxiety. I say I in the past,
Right.
right, in the past, because now I know better and I've learned certain tools and systems in my life that keep me here. As you can tell, I'm very passionate about this.
Yes.
You know, that is the next phase in my life. Is I'm writing a book on this experience, uh, and and it's something that I really want to take a deep dive into this next phase. Besides being an actor producer, is to really take this and take this message out specifically now. I think it's important even with younger
Yeah.
gentlemen, men, that I talk to men, specifically men, about this kind of journey and what people can do about it.
Yeah, I think that's so important, especially for men and Latino men. I mean, all men, but especially Latino men, because they're a
Yeah,
little bit more from the culture, you know, like you said, standoffish about feelings. If you
yeah,
mention to go to therapy, they go, "Oh, I'm not crazy," you know, you know, that feeling, no estoy loco, you know, but, you know, I'm not going to no head doctor,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and that's how the culture was. But that's awesome because I do a show on Tuesdays called Rebooted Mindset, and I do a show talking about all these things. I interview different people talking about ways to cope with life, basically, in a natural way, meditation, sound healing. I do all of that stuff, functional doctor. And I think it's so important. So that's great that you can do something like that, especially now. We have the capacity. You can do it from your own home, stream
Absolutely.
stream everywhere. You can do 30 streams, I think, at once now, and get it out there. So it's not
Well,
like we
let's
were.
get together. Let's do a show on it. I'd love
Yeah,
to.
we should do. Yeah, we should definitely do a show on that because I think that would bring in a lot of people to listen to. We can do it, in Spanish and English because there's a lot of people out there that would love to hear it, and I think that would be awesome.
Yeah,
So
fantastic. I'm here. I'm here.
I love it. I've been enjoying so much getting to know a few of you already, and you're all seem so humble and just such just great people. And I can see from Dennis, he's just a simple person who just did something 25 years ago that he didn't realize was going to carry 25 years later,
Yeah.
you know. And I told him, it's really, you must feel proud to see these incredible, people that you chose at that time. And all of a sudden now, Mauricio's doing all these shows on TV. You seeing him, and I mean, next to Kathy Bates, Matlock. I mean, that's it's a high place to get. And in the movie industry, people don't realize how difficult it is. It's difficult to be on TV. Those people to get a part for a big television show, you got to go through so much work, and
A
just
lot of
pray.
it. I, I always say it's easy to get, it's harder to maintain,
Mm,
right? Because you can get certain things and you might think you've just got the big break and you think that the next break is coming. And some,
mm,
and the reality is, well, at least my truth and my journey in is I'm a journeyman in this industry. And that's what I call myself. I'm a journeyman because you never know what's going to happen next. And so I stay in the moment. I'm grateful for the moment. I'm grateful wherever I'm grateful right now talking to you
nice.
because we're sharing something that, it's beautiful. Two human beings relating to each other. So I've learned to live in the moment, be grateful, but always work hard. And hard, I mean, not in like you got to muscle it. I don't muscle my career. I go and I put it out and I do the best I can. And I let my belief in what I do and the trust and my faith to let it do the rest because you cannot control what's going to happen tomorrow. You can't. You can only, we can only control what's happening right now.
Correct.
I mean, that's the
Correct.
thing about going back to what that show gave me and the huge gift that was and what I learned not only about myself but what I learned about the business. And there's, I hate saying the word reality because reality for everybody is different, but there was a certain expectation
Hmm.
of what you think when you've done something at the scale that you did. You figure that the scale is going to keep going, and that is not the reality. The reality is you must keep doing the work and let the work speak for itself and focus on the work. The money, the fame, and all that. If you focus on that, it's a spiral down the wrong path. And that's what that show did for me. I learned so much, uh, basic also about what it is to act in front of the camera. Because I had just done one series before that. I had done 13 episodes. But when you do 53 episodes,
Mm,
you learn so much that school cannot give you. Let's just be clear. And you learn a whole new way of working, the difference between television and theater, uh, the kind of things that you need to do for television that are different from the theater. It was in every which way that you can imagine. It was schooling for me,
wow.
which is why that show will always be the most incredible experience of my life.
Wow. Wow.
You
That
know,
that that's a lot. I mean, Dennis must feel so, I don't know. Dennis must be just, he's gonna be so happy Saturday. He's
I don't
so
think he gives
excited.
himself enough credit.
No, he does. He was very humble today. He was
He
on the
doesn't give
interview.
himself enough credit in this business, as I have to say. You didn't give him enough credit at that moment, the credit that he's getting now.
Yeah.
And his celebration,
Hmm.
it's a celebration, I believe, more for him than anything else, because he accomplished something that was almost impossible when he did it.
Yeah.
He did something impossible, which lets you know that it is not impossible,
Yeah.
right?
When you have the right people, when you have the right people, the right community of people, and you build as a team, anything is possible. So,
Anything, anything,
and I tell you that you know, talking to Ruth, Nicholas, just really just incredible people. You guys are just, you know, humble people. That's why I always like to bring people on the show, because when you watch TV, that you're a persona.
yeah,
So people forget that. That persona, they're like, no, that's not the real person. He has a family, he has children, or whatever he's doing,
yeah,
he goes supermarket and gets food, he eats too.
oh yeah, oh yeah. And if you notice, a lot of everybody, as you get older, of course, you get more perspective, and you get more awareness, and we've gotten wiser through the years, and ego and pride are not the one thing that are going to help you in this business, and this is a people business. And for most, it's not about, we always say it's not about what you know, it's about who knows you. you know
Mm,
and this business is about creating relationships, deep relationships, meaningful relationships, um, to be able to access and be able to stay in this career, and be the journeyman that I consider myself. I don't know
right,
what the rest of the cast,
right,
I've considered always myself a utility actor or a journeyman, in this business, because I do all of it. I'm not just an actor.
right,
I also, I'm a coach for actors. I'm also a film producer, and so I've opened myself to different things in this business, because I always want to keep learning.
right.
Always want to keep learning.
Yeah, I'm like that too. And I've learned so much. I mean, I had to, I research all of you, so so I don't want to be look stupid, as they say. But who's that? No. So, that just, I mean, I just learned so much about you guys, because not everything, like I tell people, you can't believe everything you see on the internet, people, please. And there's a lot of stuff on TikTok that is fake. It
Yeah,
is totally fake. The AI stuff now is kicking in, which is an issue. What do you think about that? Just briefly, because there's been a lot of things going on with AI now, and people are taking to another level. And I know that on the music side, because I deal with music a lot, ASCAP and BMI and all that, they're getting really tight on, you can't produce an AI song and put it in as an original, you know?
I think. Well, first of all, there's there is there's an aspect of social media that is absolutely horrible, because it's just lies after lies, and unfortunately, the general public, the people who consume it, um, and don't really take a deep dive to research in a little bit, don't realize that they're sold lies, right? And that's why it's so appealing, because they're just selling lies, and you
Yeah.
got to learn to be aware of, because
Right.
they're marketing. That's what they're doing. They're
Yeah.
just marketing lies. And so I don't, you know, I'm a producer, so which means I don't consume content. I create content, and I look at myself when I look at social media, and I'm looking through it, because I'm as skilled as
Right.
anybody. I'm looking through it, but I'm looking for things that I can learn. I'm not looking
Right.
at it garbage. I'm looking at, like, what can was, and then I just swipe up, and I'm looking for things like, okay,
Right.
I need to learn about AI. I'm 55 years old. I'm a film producer, and I know that we're going to the next phase of the world, which
Yeah.
is AI. And like it or not, this is where we are. And I want to know. I don't want to be ignorant about it, and I don't want to let the fear conversation around it
Right.
consume. And I think that what's happening is that the fear of not working as an actor, when I first started hearing about it and that we could be replaced, acting in itself as a career is already difficult
Yes.
in its being. That if AI takes over, we're done.
Yeah, it can't be. You can't replace a person. That's
No,
what I tell people. It doesn't like AI is a computer and it's a collection of data that it learns from us, and you can use it for a lot of different things. I do a lot of research and I do like triple research and going through different AI programs to get more, but I educate myself, and it's what you put into it basically. But the thing is, you can't replace a human being because it doesn't have any feeling. There's
no.
no emotion. So if you create an AI actor, there's no emotion. It's going to be plain. It's not going to have that, you know?
It's a hard conversation. It's really a tough conversation. I
Yeah,
saw
it is.
that I had no idea that it was an AR. They did the sound design, they put the music, they did, and I got engrossed by it. And I'm an actor. So that we're manipulating all my feelings because scientifically everybody knows how to manipulate a feeling. We know it needs music and sound
Mm,
design, the color that you put into it.
yeah,
So so I was taken by an AI thing. And if a general person who does nothing, like you and I know this business,
right.
we can understand a level of it, but the general people that are, let me just say Wisconsin, just to say, who are somewhere in some land that they have nothing, no, they don't understand the
Right.
what's happening and the danger that it's creating for jobs. This is taking jobs away
Yeah,
from people in our industry. I know in other industries it's taking job from other people in the industries,
right.
but it's gotten to a place where that's the fear. It's just going to take jobs away. And how are we got to step up into this new generation, this new world that we are not. I don't know if we're going to be able to stop this. I don't know what the answer is. And I
Yeah.
said, I got to learn this. So I'm taking a course because I got to go into this space and go, how am
Right.
I, this is what I'm thinking. Not how am I going to live survive as an actor in this industry. I'm thinking, how am I going to take care of my family if this goes away? That's all I'm thinking. So I
Yeah.
better learn about AI right now and what it means
Right.
and not worry about what's going to happen with my acting career.
Yeah.
Because the
Yeah.
reality is that because I'm a journeyman, I never
Right.
know when my next job is going to come. So I'm used to working and not working.
Right. Right. Right.
But where's my next phase? And all I worry is my why in my life, which is my family. How am I going to take care of my family? Which
Yeah.
means if I have to exit the acting world, how will I, which is why I'm thinking about the new phase, which is sharing my mission, which is
Right. Exactly.
anxiety, and how can I
Exactly.
become a coach in this world? How can I go and have seminars around this conversation? Where is my heart lies now in this next phase, and how
Yeah.
can I help people? And so that's why my mind is always like this. If you meet my incredible wife, our minds are like this constantly.
I understand truly.
Yeah, because I go, if acting is acting for the big celebrities, Brad Pitt, and
Right.
a lot of those people that have been doing it for a long time, it's not going to affect them as much as it's going to affect the utility, the 4%
Right.
of the actors like me that have been working in the industry for 30 years. It's
Yeah.
it's it's affecting us in every which way. But
Yeah.
instead of staying in the fear of like, what am
No,
I
you
going to
can't.
do? It's like
Yeah.
I'm moving. I'm
Right.
I'm moving. I'm going to figure out other ways to create money.
Exactly. Exactly. That's what I'm doing too. So definitely, I understand that. And I didn't know much about AI. I've been in technology all my life. I actually have a degree in technical management. So I did that since PC started. I've been working on them. So I have an advantage. I'm a little older than you. And but I've learned it. I've been watching technology for the last 25 years, and I embrace certain things, and now I'm learning some things that really help me. It
Yeah,
helps me in my writing. It helps me to tweak a couple of things if I can't get something right.
yeah,
It really does. It's a guidance, but it gets to know you. That's what I've learned. When you start
yeah.
doing like Tab GBT or Gemini on Google, or there's a lot of different apps, it learns from you, and it starts doing that. Yeah, I know, it's crazy, isn't it? It's
Listen,
crazy.
I'm writing my book and I'm using ChatGPT, and I'm in awe by it.
Yes.
I'm in awe by it, and I have no qualms in telling people I'm writing the book, but I'm going stream of consciousness.
Right.
I'm just writing stream of consciousness, right? And then I put it into chat.
Oh, I know. I know. What happened? ¿Qué pasó? ¿Dónde salió eso?
It's an amazing tool.
Yeah, it is.
That's the thing. It's like I believe that
It's
if
a
this is the
tool.
next phase, is how do we use this tool to find a new way of working? And that's where I decided to go instead
Mhm.
of the fear conversation, because the fear
Right.
conversation is not going to fix it.
Yeah, I have
It's
a
just not,
JC says,
unfortunately, it's not going to fix it.
right. He said, JC says it has to match your purpose.
That's it.
What you're doing. That's exactly right. Because that's JC, that's my husband. He's a salsa artist. And
Yeah,
we had this whole conversation last week on the other show that we do, talking about, there was a guy was on the show that he does AI salsa, and he has all these views and all this stuff, and we were discussing that what's going to happen, and we're saying the song has no feeling, it has no, you can't feel any emotion, it's just the standard notes, you know what I mean?
yeah,
And you can't, he does 200 songs in an hour. But he's not writing it, the computer's writing it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But he's monetizing it, right?
I don't, that's the issue right now that they're talking about, because there's been a lot of issues with that. And I know BMI, ASCAP, a lot of the big, for music as well as for acting, they're saying, we're not taking AI music because it's not an original score. It's not a human doing it. It's a computerized thing. So I
Yeah,
think there's going to be a lot of litigation. There's going to be a lot of things going on, I think, for a while.
yeah.
That's
Oh
what
no,
I've
oh,
noticed.
absolutely. Everybody, all of us are finding our new way through
Yeah.
this whole thing.
Yeah, so it's something that'll have to be raised exactly for acting, because you can create a person. I mean,
Yeah,
it's scary.
absolutely, absolutely.
It'll get scary if you can. Oh, JC says it makes no sense. It can't collect royalties, so you can't collect royalties on an AI production.
Correct.
But
Yeah,
what musicians were saying is that you can create, say you create your own song, and then you want to get a bass, so you say I need a drum beat at this level, whatever, and then the computer can give you a drum beat, and then you can insert the drum beat into your editing, but it's not like creating the whole thing.
yeah,
That's the issue
yeah,
you
yeah.
know so yeah,
Again,
we don't want fake actors out there.
that's my that's my next venture next month. After we're done, um, my wife and I have a company called True Form Films, and
Hmm.
we've been producing now for 13 years. And we look for movies um, that have an inspirational quality to them. So we have a movie called Her Choices. We shot in Miami, and we're in the editing basis of it. And it's interesting talking about this AI thing, because we need to, before makeup, we had to figure out, now we could talk about de-aging, and go, no, we'll do that in post. We de-age that actor. And there's things that are so helpful, because it's so much cheaper to be able to do now than it was before. Or before, it was with makeup, it would take time. It would take for actors time to just be in a chair. And AI with makeup and BFX has helped us economize within the budget. So, and
Mm.
there are positive things about it.
Yeah, of course. There's always going to be something positive about it. It's just everybody, anything that's a change, people get nervous.
Yeah,
People start getting nervous.
correct.
So, um, JC's like, I'm looking for a role. He's always looking for acting roles.
Hey, so am I.
He is too. There's a lot of castings out here, but it's just very hard. It's that industry. It's so difficult. It's you got to know somebody, make, like you said, make relationships and build that. And Miami is so condensed with so many people. I just moved from I was down in Boca. Now we're up more towards, we're Space Coast area, so we moved up a little north. It's getting crowded down there.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's a new business. The business that we're in is not the business that was when I started, for sure.
No.
I started professionally in 1992.
Mm.
So it's just such a different business that we're in, and that's why you got to just start evolving. You got to
Yep. As they
evolve.
say, go with the flow. Go with the flow. Adapt. Adapt. But you know what? I'd say that being Latino, we adapt. Okay, because we always have to adapt, and people don't realize that. Even when I was born in New York, okay, I'm American. We're all American. We had to simulate to where we live. So things have changed now, but before everybody just simulated. You just move in with the crowd, right?
That's
So
it. My parents, I was born in Davis, California, but my parents are Colombian, and my parents took us back to Colombia in 1978 when I
yeah.
was 2, and I lived my formative years in Colombia.
Oh wow.
But before that, my parents lived in Walnut Creek. They lived in San Francisco. They lived in New York. My parents. So I just learned to adapt
Hmm.
everywhere. I had to learn new languages. So I think that's why my brain just adapts quicker and just goes, well, okay, this is not working. Let's
Next.
try something new. Let's try something new. And that's why this new business of self tapes and stuff was not hard for me. And I've come to love it because I believe that I gained time back. I don't have to drive around town anymore. I have to worry about gas or getting a parking ticket. There's so many things about Zoom that I love, Zoom auditions that I've really loved now because I feel like I gain time for things that I
Yeah.
can do. I
Yeah.
send a self tape, it's done. If they see it or they don't see it, I can't control of it. Even when you're in the room, you don't know if they're seeing it or not. Casting is seeing it, but you don't know if the producers are seeing it.
Right.
So I tell
Right.
actors this. I go, yes, we go back in the room. You're auditioning for casting, but casting might not send it to the next person. It's the same thing with the self tape. It's the same thing with the self tape. Casting is seeing it. They're
Right.
seeing it. Casting might not move it to the next level.
Right.
It's the same thing. For me, it's the same process. And I just feel like I can always pick up my daughter now.
Yeah.
I don't have to worry about who's picking up my daughter. Because my wife is also an actress. We're always dealing with the schedules. I can be at her volleyball games. I can be everywhere. I can go on a trip. I don't have to worry about, I can't go on a trip. Because
Yeah.
I can do a self-tape anywhere.
Yep.
And
Yep.
I love the way this industry has shifted into the self-tapes. That's my truth, my
Right.
experience with it. I've
Right.
looked
Right.
at all the positives. I've just gained so much time back.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel the same way because I'm home. I have my studio in my garage, and we create a whole studio here, music, everything. And I take care of my mom. She's 87. She's going to be 88 in February, and my aunt, her sister, is going to be 86 now in December. So, it gives me time too. I don't have to worry about, oh, what's going on? Is mom okay? I'm here. I go cook and I come back and I do interviews. People don't even realize it. I'm like running around doing all my stuff before I get to do.
I'll tell you, there were times that, when before the strike, I would memorize because I just wanted to memorize but then if you have 3 auditions in one day and you're driving from each part of town and you're dealing with the traffic and you got to park, you got to find parking in LA. And then you walk in and there's a lot of actors and everybody's energy in the room. You're being affected by all of that. And there were times that I would walk into an audition and casting is tired from their day, that you just walk into that court of energy. And it just, for me, again, this is my experience, it would affect the auditions. And I would walk away going, damn, just, I can't, I wasn't able to really focus and go and do what I needed to do in that room. Now,
we're like this, yeah.
It's calm. I wake up. I have my system, mi cafecito in the morning. I look at and I put it and I lay it down, and I don't take 3 hours to do it. I give myself, my goal is 25 minutes. That's it. And I send it, because the rest is not up to me. This is just my audition. This is just my take. If the director likes my look, if the director likes my essence, if the director likes certain things I did, I will get the call back. The rest I can't control it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's so many. Now as a producer, so I also tell actors, as a producer, I go, oh my God, the things I didn't think about. So much personal, and I'm like, oh my God. No, there's a puzzle to all of it. A puzzle to casting. And sometimes you can be the most talented person in the room, but you don't fit the puzzle.
Right.
It's mind-blowing. I tell actors, go produce.
Go make your own.
Directors, there is a puzzle on how they put everything together in a system. Wow. And understanding how TVQ, why it matters and why they need to go with a name. Yeah, I mean, it's just so much goes into it.
There's so much. There's so many moving parts. People don't realize. They just turn the TV on. Oh, show. Yeah, no. You know what it took to do that show? And you said, remember back in the day, back in 80s, whatever, 90s, they used to do the live shows. So you had, because I lived in LA, so I remember I used to go. I went to Sinbad. Remember Sinbad? Yeah. I went to his show live in LA. I remember that. And he's so tall that I was sitting right in the first row where the railing is, and he was like up here. He was like, hey, how you doing? He would like walk by because he was so tall. Yeah. But I remember going to the live different shows, Let's Make a Deal, things that they did live. And that's even harder because, stage acting, I mean, stage is one thing, right? Because you're more in control, like you said. Yeah. But television, now you got all the television stuff going on, and you got to concentrate with all those people out there and all the cameras moving, and nobody sees that. You're like, they only see this little window of where you are.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, I'm telling you, Mauricio, it was such a pleasure talking to you. I mean, we could talk for hours. I can already say we can talk for hours and stuff like that. But Brenda's going to hook us up, and we're going to do that other show. We're going to talk about health and wellness, because that's my thing. I love doing that besides, all these things, but that's my passion.
And you need to meet my wife, Jennifer Behrens.
I'd love to meet her.
She is a force of nature.
Oh, I'd love to. I'll have to interview her too. She's an actress.
She's an actress, film producer, writer, director.
Look at that.
She's been in the industry for 30 years. We met on a movie set 16 years ago, and she is a force of nature.
That's awesome. That's always good to have a power woman behind you,
Absolutely. Absolutely. We need more women in this world. More.
More?
More leadership. More in leadership.
They have to give us leadership. That's another topic. That's another one. Okay, I worked in IT world in corporate America for a long time, and it took me, I was fighting. Why can't I be director? Why can't I be vice president? What's going on? You just hired another person? Why?
Well, that's the beauty about the world that we're living in, is that whatever we decide we can be, I feel that we can be. We don't have to wait for anybody to greenlight. 13 years ago, when I started producing, people were like, here's another actor who wants to be a producer. And I like, oh, if I don't greenlight myself and give myself the kind of parts I want to play, it's not going to happen. And then people would go, oh my God, I never saw you in that kind of role. And I just did a movie a couple of years ago. It's called Ruthless. It's on Hulu with Dermot Mulroney. And I play this character that if somebody else hadn't seen me in something, they would have not been able to visualize me in that character. And the thing is that I know, I look myself, I know my look might not say it, but I feel like I'm a chameleon, and I play so many different things. But I know that I also have to show people so they can see it, because there's just some people that you got to accept that reality. They can't see it. And you got to sometimes show it. And I
Yeah.
decided to show it.
That's what I say too, because sometimes they're like they know, people know me, you know, where I live and things like that, but they don't really know me. Then like, oh, you do this? I'm like, where have you been? Under a rock? I'm all over social media. I have a website. I mean, I've been, you know, for a long time down south, and you know, I had a passion to produce a magazine. I literally woke up one day and said, I'm going to make a magazine. And they're like, what are you, crazy? I said, why? So, and this was even before AI. So I had to like, my first magazine, I think was 50 pages, and it was bilingual. It was, but every article was in both English and Spanish. And it was a lot of work. Now I just have, you know, I have Spanglish Entertainment, and
I love it.
I do it in English. And I'm honored to have you guys in it. I talked to Brenda. We're going to have a nice spread for the November issue,
I
talking
love
about
it.
Resurrection Boulevard and a couple of your interviews there, and just celebrating that accomplishment. And it's perfect because it's just ending our Hispanic Heritage Month right now.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it was like perfect timing for the story to come out.
I love it. And congratulations really on everything that you do, because
Thank
you
you. You
deserve to give
too.
yourself a pat in the back, because you're not waiting for somebody else to greenlight
No.
you. You greenlight your own life. And that's what I just tell people.
Yeah.
Take the bull by the horns. Don't wait for anybody to give it to you. Honestly, you know, what I've come to realize is that nobody owes me a damn thing. You know, you build your own life. And my focus now is building my life, because my why is so clear that my family is the core of the people that I want to take care of, not because I have to, because I want to.
Me too. Yeah.
And they're my driving force. And within that driving force, I get to still do what I love to do. 30 years later, I still
Yeah.
get to do what I love.
I
I'm
know.
a blessed man. I'm a
You're
blessed man.
blessed. Yes, you are. You're very blessed, and it's incredible. That's why we all always have to be grateful and pursue your dreams. You can
Yep.
do it. You want to do something. Nowadays, there's not an excuse, I believe, because the internet has opened up a door that we didn't have before.
Yep.
You know, I went to school. You had to go to the library and open up an encyclopedia, and you
Yep.
get this much. Oh, how am I supposed to write a paper now? I remember those
Yeah.
days. And now you have so much online. You can be home and you can be study anything you want. So, you know, people have to just go for it.
Yeah.
Don't be
Somebody was talking about you just go to Google University.
scared.
Google it.
Yes.
Google University.
Yeah, googlearo, como dicen los latinos.
See,
Googlearo. Oh, and then
well,
and so anyway, I'm telling you, I gotta stop because we'll keep talking.
well, we'll keep going on another conversation, another show. But
Yeah,
thank you
no,
so much.
thank you so much. It was awesome learning about you, and blessings to you and your wife and your
Thank you. You
family,
too.
and good luck on this editing that you're doing right now in the film, and just keep us posted.
We will. Thank you
All
so
right.
much for your time.
Thank you.
Come on.
Bye. Wow. So incredible interview. We went longer, but you know, I can talk and he can talk too. So we could both talk. And it's just incredible. This whole Resurrection Boulevard has really opened a new door of learning about the actors and about them and their journey for the last 25 years. And it's really incredible that this team has stuck together all this time. So um, I'll let you know when Michael De Lorenzo is coming on. He's going to be here. So I will be putting that up pretty soon. So yeah, part two. We're like on part 5. I already interviewed 4 people. So we got Michael's coming up, and we're still trying to see if Tony Plan is around because it's getting closer to the weekend. So don't forget, go to foxtucson.com, get your tickets for the Tucson, Arizona at the Fox Theater, so you can see all the cast live and the producers and directors, and everybody's going to be there. So anyway, have a great night. See ya.